welcome to the Daily Space Weather. We've got some fresh imagery here, as always, at the Smash News Network, Least Busted Name in News. Some of the most in-depth space weather details that you'll find on the whole internet. This is a slow-mo. In 94 angstroms from the SDO, this rising sunspot group is massive and likely to continue to produce some solar flares. Here's some more spectacular SDO imagery for you. That was at a reduced frame rate to show you all of those details. Here comes a composite. This is 171 plus 304 angstroms ionized iron plus ionized helium. Lots of activity in the northern hemisphere. We may see a South Pole current sheet coming. NOAA forecasting geomagnetic storm conditions and more, including coronal mass ejection coverage on today's Daily Space Weather video. Back to 30 frames per second there. That's the last 24 hours of what's been going on. And thanks for tuning in and stargazing with us. Next, looking at the Earth's geospace out to about 12 Earth diameters. This is Earth's magnetic moment from space. And NOAA expecting this to light up today as a result of a coronal hole high-speed stream. At the moment, we don't see any such thing happening, but that's the last 4 hours of magnetohydrodynamic pressure. Again, that's Earth's magnetic moment from space. How about Earth's magnetic moment from the ground? This will show you the most likely places to see aurorae, pipeline, rail line, and power line induction. If we do indeed see a geomagnetic storm conditions, it'll show you the most likely places for aurorae to be visible as well. At the moment, aurorae not quite so likely. That's the last 4 hours of Earth's magnetic moment from the ground in nanotesla magnetic flux density. Speaking of magnetism, the planetary K index is a measurement of overall geomagnetism. And you can see we are at a KP2 at the moment, KP2 geomagnetic calm conditions. Before we get to the real-time solar wind, here is the real-time solar wind. You can see we did see a little spike here in the solar wind density. It made it up to about 20 protons per cubic centimeter. We now see that subsiding a little bit, so if we do see the solar wind speed come up and the solar wind density continue to subside, that would be a coronal hole high-speed stream. We do see a little signal happening here in the plasma temperature, so that's typical of a coronal hole high-speed stream. We also do see the BZ shifting, this red line in the top frame here. That is really the determinant of how strong a geomagnetic storm condition will be. If we see that go into the highly negative strong signal territory there in that top frame, we can expect to see geomagnetic storm conditions, especially if a very high-speed stream does show up. Current conditions are about 11 protons per cubic centimeter for the solar wind density, solar wind speed about 330 kilometers per second. At the moment, it's looking like it does. Did you know that we regularly stream live to Twitch? Twitch.tv/SmashOmash. Yeah, we don't have all of our eggs in one basket here at the Smash News Network, Least Busted Name in News. So take a moment to press like and subscribe here on YouTube. And don't forget to install the sweet mobile app of twitch.tv/SmashOmash. It'll actually alert you when we go live. If you'd like to support the channel, become a member of the Smash Team. Gold and Silver Smash Team members get our GDAX daily reports. And if you're sick of not seeing our videos in your subscription feed, just click posts from the page from the smashomash.com/Smash Team page. If you click posts, you'll get this page, and it'll show you all of our latest releases. So there's the GDAX report, and if you continue to scroll down, you'll see our videos from yesterday. Today's featured product is actually our third bestseller. It is Mensa, Make Earth Not Suck Again. And once again, I'm wearing the hat because I'm doing my part to make Earth not suck again. Do your part if you've noticed it's been sucking for the past 2.5 years. Well, there's a lot of that going around. We would tend to agree with you. So hit us up for some merch. You can find it on the homepage, links below the video, smashomash.com. And in the description below this video, you'll find links to the merch. Make Earth not suck again. It's up to you to push back against nonsense and terrible decision-making by bureaucrats who can't even get out of their own way. Mensa, Make Earth Not Suck Again. It's a function of our YouTube channel, which has been stagnating in subscribers, as it tends to do. Remember, we put up all kinds of content in addition to space weather and meteorology videos, like our video about trained attack goldfish. Have you seen that one? If not, check our playlists. There are playlists about things besides science. There are sports videos, there are pets videos, there are all kinds of different things, even recipes you may find on there in our ownage food and drink section. So welcome to the Neo Renaissance. Visit the homepage, visit our links, hit us up on social media. You can find a permanent invite link to our Discord chat there. Smashobash.com is the hub. In 2019, a crack YouTube unit was sent to social media prison for a crime we didn't commit. We promptly escaped a maximum security social media stockade into the internet underground, where we survive as producers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find the content, maybe you can hire the Smash team. Getting into magnetic data, you see a little stronger signals here showing up on the GOES magnetometers, but no real spiky readings at the moment. So if it is a coronal hole wind stream showing up at the moment, it's showing up like a glancing blow. Also, Earth may snap back into a South Pole-oriented current sheet because of so much activity in the northern hemisphere. We may see a South Pole current sheet snap back through to the earthly zone. At the moment, Earth is in a North Pole current sheet, shown here in green. Here is the line of sight. This is the top view ecliptic plane field plot. And if you're wondering what these are, that's stereo A at Lagrange 5, that's stereo B at Lagrange 4. Here's your line of sight plot, showing the sun's B field in blue, South solar polar field in red, North solar polar field in green. And again, lots of sunspots in the northern hemisphere. Let's move to coronal holes. Here's your coronal hole line of sight plot. We've got some additional North Pole-oriented coronal holes rotating in here on the eastern limb. Here's a great view, and you're going to see these coronal holes over here in the coming days get a little more well-defined. That view is 193 angstroms ionized iron from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. Next, we'll continue on to sunspots, as we do most days. And we've got lots of groups. So the radio fluxes come all the way up abruptly to 115 solar flux units, and we've got multiple significant groups in the northern hemisphere, weaker groups in the southern hemisphere. So the one to really keep the eye on is 3053 and 3052, which is the series of umbrae leading 3053. Those areas are looking definitely ripe to produce additional solar flares. So here is the 1700 angstroms view. You can see how huge that sunspot is, much larger than the Earth itself. Likelihood of flares much higher as a result of that group. And it is right on the limb too, so that increases the likelihood of large flares by somewhere around 20 to 25%. So lots of sunspots there in the northern hemisphere. Here's the full disk view in the same wavelength there, 1700 angstroms. That's extreme ultraviolet light. And these bands of ultraviolet light must be viewed from space. The Earth's mesosphere filters out that portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. You can't view those wavelengths from the surface. Next, we'll look at the Udaipur, India magnetogram. To see these groups have largely been stable over the past, whatever time covered there. It's like about a day. And here's the X-ray profile. And I wanted to bring up the 7-day chart here to show you how much the X-ray profile has just increased in the past couple of days. You can see we are all the way back down to almost an A-level background X-ray output. And now we're almost back to a C. That's a C-class X-ray output. No flares required. And don't be surprised to see additional flares. No relativistic particles showing up as a result of the most recent activity. And here is El Sol in 94 angstroms. That's the last 24 hours. Once again, thanks for stargazing. We've got a little more material to blast through here, so hold on to your hat. Are you aware that the sun crosses the galactic plane early in the morning here? Yeah, when it gets to this point on the ecliptic, it crosses the galactic plane. I don't know, maybe that frightens you. If so, please make sure you share this video, because it's very scary when the sun crosses the galactic plane, even though it does it twice per day. But in any case, there are a bunch of planets up in the sky at the moment: Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and Mercury, none of which will kill you. But that's what's going on above our heads here in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. Let's do a solar system forecast. We've got a crescent waxing at the moment as we approach a full moon in the next week. Here's where things will be in a week. We will have a gibbous waxing by the 13th as Mercury and Venus break out like a jailbreak and head to the other side of the sun. So we've got some coronagraph imagery for you here. This is all day yesterday. And I would note there is some missing data. You're going to see the data get to about 12 noon Universal Time and then go away. We do have data from stereo A during that period. So let's go to the stereo A coronagraph and the Soho LASCO C3. So we actually paused this. You can see here at 1542 on the Soho LASCO C3, it's going to jump all the way to 15 minutes to midnight, 17 minutes to midnight. So some missing data there. But what actually occurred there is a CME on the far side. So it doesn't look like we've got any ejecta headed toward Earth. It's all looking like it will miss to the north. So if we bring this back, you can see this. You can see some ejecta here around the northern portion of the sun, but not the south. An indication that this small CME, probably not earthly directed. If so, it would be only a minor component of it. And the only thing we missed here on the LASCO C3 would be a bunch of CME ejecta on the far side. You can kind of see the remnants of that around midnight. This is what actually happened. And for you new viewers, Earth would be off on this line from the perspective of stereo A. We've got some more moving pictures for you to close things out. Here's the last 2 hours from the GOES 16 SUVI. And last but not least, 171 angstroms for the last 24 hours. So thanks for tuning in once again to the Daily Space Weather. It's just the most detailed space weather and solar imagery you'll find on the entire internet. We've been doing it over 5 years. Thanks to our viewers who've just tuned in, as well as ones who've been with us the whole time. Back in the day when we were doing fake news weather reports, fake news alarmist weather reports, just for fun, we realized that there was a niche that needed to be covered when it came to space weather. So we stepped up to the plate instead of whining about a lack of good coverage. So thanks for tuning in to the Smash News Network, these busted name of news, and may that solar wind be at your back.